Hello! In this video I'm going to show how to change the chain and sprockets of this Honda Transalp XL650V. Before I'm gonna lift the bike, I am going to loosen the axle sprocket here. That's a 24mm socket. The bike is now securely lifted on this swing stand, and then in addition to that I placed two car lifters underneath the main stand, so in order to make it pretty stable. Next step is to remove the chain guard down here, and the cover of the front sprocket in front here. These are all 10mm. Now this is probably an 8mm, these are 10mm, and this is an 8mm. So according to this chain ruler which came with the new chain, the old one is still serviceable. It's within the green area here. Oops, in the green area here. But I'm going to replace it anyway, since if we have a look at the rear sprocket, it seems to me rather worn here at the edges. If we have a look on the front, also on the front edge, it's rather worn in my opinion. And yeah, I'm just going to change it. Probably not a bad idea to have a new sprocket and chain on our motorcycle. Here we can see the linking element of this chain. We can also see the marking if it's a 525VX. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a drill to remove the flare of these pins, and then I can easily push them out. So let's apply a bit WD-40 for proper drilling, and here we go. Next I'm going to use this chain opener to push through the pin a little bit so that the chain gets opened. And the trick with this tool is you need to open the rear screw here. Come on. Like so. And then you can insert the driving pin. So you put that inside here, and screw back in that bolt. Like this, and then you're ready to go. And you need to push it or pull it towards you to get a real good perpendicular fit on the opposite side, and then carefully, you can see that, and then carefully turn the pin so that it pushes in the center of the chain link, like so. And then we can use the lever and gently, really gently, there's not much force needed, we can drive out the pin of the chain. Here we go, the chain is open. So I'm going to remove the tool. Here's our O-ring, and here are the connecting pins of this previous chain, and as you can see here, they have been pulled out just a little bit, and ta-da, it's open. Next step, I'm going to remove the front sprocket. Bike is in neutral, so there is nothing to hold it, so I just engage first gear, and here we go. So next step, we're going to remove the rear wheel. Here we go. The bolts are a little bit stuck, so I am using the back nut here. This is a 14mm nut, and I'm improvising an impact wrench here. It's already open. Go. It's open as well. Here we go. And now all are open. So the rear sprocket is still. So next step, we are going to install the new rear sprocket. After cleaning everything thoroughly so that the mating surfaces here are absolutely clean, we can place the new sprocket on the driving part here. The printed side must be facing outward, so towards me, and the Haynes manual states that the bolts shall be lubricated when mounting and The torque setting is 45 Newton meters. So I've cleaned those bolts beforehand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lubricate them as indicated and stage the tightening of the bolts. Second stage 30 Newton meters. 3. Then here's 4. Okay, I'm satisfied. Here we go, the new rear sprocket. Black, looks good. Okay, now let's put the back together. So here we've got the pack with 4 O-rings, and here's the lock and some grease to be applied between the lock and the O-rings. Time to install the new chain link. So here you can see the new link with the O-rings packed in grease. That just moves without any force through the chain. And so let's put some grease around here, like so. Okay. Here we go. Then I've already prepared the locking plate here with the 2 O-rings. They go on here, 1 and 2. And the locking plate has an outside where the type of the chain is noted, so I'll keep that outside as it was on the previous chain. So let's fit this over here, 1 and 2. Okay. Now we're going to use the tool with the press plate here's the tool. The one side here has a groove which will just fit over the rivulets, or however that is called, on the other side here. And this is the press plate, which has 2 holes where the pin can move through. So let's put this in place. Looks good to me. Okay, now here's the new link. As you can see, the pins are standing out a little bit, and also the link element itself is exactly aligned with the other link elements. And third check, the link is freely movable, so it's not stuck. So the final step on installing this chain, here we are, is to flare the pins so that they are securely locked. This is the pin we'll be using. It has a rounded tip. It fits on this and then pushes it apart. And in order to avoid that the pin moves backward, there's an anvil which fits over the other side of the pin like this. And then we can squeeze or flare the pins. So the bolt goes inside here, securing nut goes down like this, and we put the anvil in place and set it on so that the anvil slips over the other side of the pin, and we're centered right dead on the front side of the pin, and then we'll start pushing. One looks very closely, one can see the little gap between the pushing pin and the chain pin, and I think I want the gap closed, which would mean that the round head of the pushing pin has finally fully entered into the chain pin, flaring it nicely. Okay, I think this is it.